Hey guys, Common Flame here. I know you're probably in a rush to beat this song, so I'll get right to it. This is how you beat Expurgation from the Versus Tricky mod. Now, one of the most important things when it comes to beating hard mods in general is playing with two hands. There are so many people who still play with one hand on the arrow keys or WASD. Stop! You are not playing optimally. You can change your controls in the title screen in the Game Options menu. You can change them to anything, but I and most people out there prefer DFJK. However, you can experiment with what keybind you like. Alright, enough chit chat, let's get to the actual song.
Three, two, one, go!
So for the first few verses, there are no fire notes. But you're not here for those. You're here because you keep accidentally pressing those notes and dying. Now here are some general tips throughout the song. Since the fire arrow is insta-kill, but missing a normal note doesn't, your primary focus should be avoiding the fire notes. One of the most important parts of the song is remembering where the fire notes are. For example, in this specific part, I remember that there are fire notes on the up and down arrows coming up, so I only press left and right. You don't have to remember all the notes, just remember where some clusters of them are. Here's another example. The left and right arrows are infested with fire arrows, so I spam up and down instead of risking my run for a little bit of bar. Don't get greedy. Be calm, attentive, and remember where the fire notes are. This way, even though the fire notes are to prevent spam, if you know where they are, you can spam where they aren't, so you don't have to divide your focus on hitting the notes and avoiding the fire notes. This is also useful for parts with no fire notes, such as the beginning or the part before he screams Hank. Another extremely useful tip is copying Tricky's verses. This will not work well with the super complicated parts, but for calmer bits like the part with distant chuckle in the background, you can remember what notes he hits and hit those to avoid the fire notes. Speaking of when he screams Hank from earlier, you might notice something different about Tricky's verses. His verses now include fire notes, even though they didn't before. You can use this to your advantage by seeing where the fire notes are in his verse, then spamming the lines where they aren't. This way, you don't have to memorize the specific part of the song. Now, here comes the part that most people die in, and for good reason. The HP gremlin in this part drags you to almost dead, and if you messed up just a bit too much, he drags you straight to blue balls. However, contrary to popular belief, you don't have to perfect this part. Just have a full bar or close to when you enter this part, and just try to hit the notes. Color coordination is a big help in the whole song, but here especially. Don't hit the black notes, hit everything else. The patterns in this part are fairly simple as they mirror the charting at the start. If you're fairly skilled at the game and don't overthink it, this part should be a cakewalk. And just like that, with a little bit more practice, you can beat Expurgation. Now, I'm gonna play a clip of me winning Expurgation. If you liked the video, this took a long time to make, so drop a like and subscribe. Comment if there are any more songs you want a guide for, and I may consider making a video on them. Alright, roll the clip.
Three, two, one, go!